And so, people can look at the interview I did with Maggie White, who's been a rancher and a carnivore for over 65 years. So she's been just through pure preference. She just never wanted to eat anything except meat growing up. And she really fought with her parents as a kid. And eventually her parents were like, look, she hates eating anything else. She's healthy and strong. Let's just let her just do what she wants. So she's basically been eating carnivore her entire life after adolescence. And certainly all of her adult life, because she ended up dropping out of veterinarian school at UBC up in Vancouver when she was, just a late teenager. I think she started college early. It was an undergraduate program then. So she was like 17, 18, something like that. And she just said, actually, I don't want to help treat other people's animals. I want my own animals. She really loved animals and big animals and things like that. So she just, quit school and went and worked on a ranch hand, became a cowboy. It's her words. She says, if you're working cattle, you're a cowboy. Man or woman, you're a cowboy. And so she went out and became a cowboy. And she was hundreds of miles away from civilization. And she said that the only thing that you ate is what you grew or raised. Right. And so they had meat available because they were raising cattle. But if you wanted vegetables or fruit, you had to grow it yourself. And she's like, I'll be damned if I'm going to work to eat vegetables. Like, I don't want to eat vegetables. I'll just eat the meat. Thank you. And so she did. And so she just continued to just eat a meat diet. She raised 10 kids on a meat only diet on her ranch. And she is 82 years old now. She's 5'10". She still has blonde hair. I didn't see any grays in her hair. And that's her hair. And her picture looks like she's maybe in her 50s, like in like a good 50, and she's 82 years old. She's still working. She's still working 14-hour days in blizzards. I was talking to her on Christmas last year, and we were trying to, set up an interview, and she was just like, hey, I'm really sorry. It's been like a 14-hour day. We had a blizzard come through. It was minus 40. And we were like, had to do these things to save the cows, or the cows, will die, and so they were just working on Christmas, all hours of the day and night. Because that's what you do. She just bought another ranch down in Colombia to sort of save the family farm down there. And so they did as a sort of a rescue operation because they wanted to. And they have like, plantains and bananas and coffee and things like that. She's 82 years old, and she was emailing me talking about how she's climbing up 20, 30-foot trees to cut off bunches of bananas, lower them down to the ground, and then carry them up a hill to get to the truck so they can take it to market at 82, right? Wow. I mean, most 20-year-olds aren't capable of doing that these days, right. And, so that's what you're going to be like in your 80s. Right. And, and like I said, Native Americans were living well over 100. We are biologically, genetically designed to live 120 years based on the length of our telomeres. That's what I was taught in genetics. And, so 80 years old is literally middle-aged, right? Certainly 60 is. And so, and that's what she says. She's like, look, I'm middle-aged. That's it. I've still got a lot of life left in me. I've still got a lot of work left in me. This stuff makes me happy. So this is what I'm going to keep doing. I had another quick anecdote which is a friend of mine who works in geriatrics here in Perth. She had a patient who was 86 years old, had checked himself into a nursing home basically because he couldn't take care of himself at home anymore, and his family couldn't either. And so he checked himself into a nursing home basically to die. And that's what that is. You can't take care of yourself anymore, so you're just sort of waiting out your time. And it was very sad. So he somehow came across my videos, and he decided to go carnivore, just a sort of last ditch effort of getting his independence back. Within 3 months, he was not only back living at home fully independent, but he was lifting weights 3 days a week, swimming twice a week, and had come off all medications at 86.
Wow.
That is nuts. Literally aging backwards, literally turning back the clock, and curing himself of these major issues and getting himself his independence back. Is that there's no greater gift than your independence.
Absolutely. That's been one of the most sort of touching things with carnivore for me. I've had so many comments on my channel from people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s thriving on carnivore over and over again. That's going to be a big part of the carnivore diet documentary. We're going to talk about obesity, diabetes, stomach issues, IBS, autoimmune disorders, but aging is a huge one because who isn't worried about getting older and slowing down? And I'm hearing story after story, like Dr. Chaffee just said, of people that are, it's not an issue for them. And these people are saying it was the inflammation. It was the food I'm eating. It's slowing me down. It's causing me to have arthritis. It's causing me to have aches and pains, and you don't have to have those things. So yeah, that's just amazing.